Alright, friends, this is coming to you a little different tonight. This is the kind of sharing my faith, in other words. I don't share it enough. I want to get to where I'm sharing it a lot more. Hopefully this will bless somebody. Hopefully this will encourage somebody at least. But this is the $1 million question. Alright, so a lot of us say, well, I'm a good person. But are we really a good person? And I kind of sit back and I'm like, I've never really, killed anybody. I've never robbed a bank. I've never, cheated, anything like that, on my wife or anything. I mean, that's just, I'm a pretty good person, man. Well, the Bible says a little different. Now, with that being said, everybody's got this moral law in their head, which is put there by God. So you don't do things. But now, I myself sit here and sometimes I don't listen to my, to the moral laws and to my conscience sometimes, or the Holy Ghost in my case, because I'm saved, is sitting there, saying, don't do this, do this, It's kind of a big war thing. You always see that little angel sitting on this side, and, the little demon on this side. Well, it's like that angel is really telling you, what to do. And what is that? That's, that's cartoonish, but, there is some truth behind that. We've got, believe it or not, even right here in this room right now with me, Satan, number one, does not want me to make his film. Number two, there are legions, I dare say, I don't know this for 100% fact, but I do believe there is at least one of an angel, and there is at least a demon in this room. At least one, if not hundreds of thousands, because there's way more demons and angels than there are humans. So, with that being said, there's always that war. There's always a war going on for my soul, which it's, if I'm going to sit here and I'm going to do something bad, or if I'm going to do something good, Satan does not want me to do something for God. That is the truth. And then God don't want me to do something for Satan, but God also gives me a free will and lets, let things happen. That's just, how it is. For none to be that, I've never personally or anything have, killed or anything. But what does the Bible say about some of these? What depicts it? You know what I'm saying? We have free will, but we're going to do bad things. We are in a corrupt world, and corruption is not going to never get any better. So, let's take the $1 million question here and just see what it says, and then we can back it with the Bible. With that being said, though, like I said though, God's going to give you the free will to choose what you do with your life and how you use it. So, I'm not really going to read this off, but, because I kind of know what it, I know what it says. I mean, I've not been in church my whole life. There's been times I've went and I hadn't. Right now I'm trying to find a good one. I've just now got back to where I need to be, but I'm still getting there, me personally. But, that's for a whole entire different discussion. So, what does the Bible really say about our sin life, our conscience? What's really going on? Okay, so, 99% of people, I'm pretty sure, I say 100%, but I'd say 100%. How many of us has ever told a lie? There's a shipping container coming to work, it needs, 5 boxes on, but that one, they want you to tell, oh, well, man, it needs to go over here. Okay, well, I'll put it on the paper. No, don't put it on the paperwork. What's that really saying? That's a lie. If all be true, that'd be a lie. So, that is within, yes, if somebody's going to force you into it, are you going to stand up for what it is? That's where it kind of comes down to. And, I'm just making a scenario here. What's going on? It's still a lie. When you was a kid, I was the first. I was a really bad liar. Okay? I even lied once about my sister. Something, I forgot what it was, but I lied and said, oh, she done it, and then, it was one of them things, I was a pretty bad liar. So I'm a liar, okay? So, okay, that's one sin against me right there, one sin. One sin will keep you away from the Father, okay? Just know that. Okay. So, have you ever stolen anything? Man, that candy bar right there looks really good. Nobody's gonna know. Oh, man, I'm really hungry. I ain't got no money or nothing. Am I gonna steal that piece of food? Is it really bad when we call it that? In our conscience, we're gonna have this going back and forth. And I'm personally here to say usually if I say, well, there's something, if I'm gonna sit here and I'm gonna say I'm gonna go ahead and do something bad, it's gonna usually end up worse than what it really could end up being, and vice versa. Usually if I go ahead and do something good, and I don't do something bad, usually I get blessed for it. I mean, I wouldn't say necessarily do it that way, because it's, you shouldn't really have a, you shouldn't think like it, I guess. But, if I do something bad over here, I'm going to get bad for it. If I do something good over here, I'm going to get good for it. Usually, at least that's how it is in my own life. I mean, it even says the Bible, sin will find you out. I mean, it's, and, you might not always, not everybody might not know it down here, but Jesus knows it, God knows it. I mean, that's just, that's just how it is. Alright. So, this is a big one. This is a really big one here. So, even your buddies are sitting here at work, and they use the Lord's name in vain. And, they're just cussing it out. Jesus, that. And you get over and you start doing it too. Even in the Bible, the Jewish people, blasphemy was considered up to death. So that's pretty big. That's pretty big right there. They would kill you for using the Lord's name in vain. They reverenced the name of the Lord. Have I done it? Yes. Yes, I have. I try not to, because I always try to do better, but I try to do, I try to really not to cuss or anything. It don't always happen, though. You would never use your mother's name as a cuss word. That's just how I've kind of heard it before. I wouldn't use my mother's name, to use out disgust or something like that. So, that's just kind of how it is, The other one is a big one too, and I think this is somewhat why I struggle somewhat, is, the world nowadays, what I'm about to tell you, it's really hard. You about can't go nowhere and see this, but it's lust. This is talk about, looking at a woman with lust. Now, has everybody, everybody's done it too. That's just, how it is. Now, I guarantee there's a counterbalance. Some people this is not going to affect as much, and some people this is going to affect a lot more. And many even has it really bad, but then you've got the women also that are not dressing as mindlessly anymore. Some of them, not all of them, of course, but some of them are not, dressing as modestly. And so that's really where it comes down to, we can still, though, not have to take in it. Especially as being men, it's really hard. Especially being in this time that we live in. You can about go anywhere and see. Walmart's terrible for it. Commercials are terrible for it. Everybody's terrible for it. But God's gonna really, set this apart for you, and He's going to really bless you if you don't partake in it. Because usually it leads to other things, and it even says in the Bible, looking at lust, looking at sorry, tongue tied. Looking at a woman with lust even is committing adultery, and usually they kill in the Bible for that. But that's pretty bad. The last one I'm going to go over, though, because this is kind of getting a little longer than I was wanting, is, what was it? Well, honor your father and mother. So, and there is a promise with this one. It's, you'll live long upon the earth. So, I mean, it's, don't do it for the promise of living long. Do it for the promise that you'll have eternal life one day. That's just, that's how I see it, at least. It's, I kind of sit back here and I'm like, well, if you listen to them, because they've been there, they've done that. That's kind of how, your mom says, oh, don't speed in the car. Well, she's pretty right about it. You're not going to sit here and, you're probably going to live a little longer. I think it's also really, it's really a real promise, though, too, that you'll probably live longer. Now, I've known really godly people that has lived very long, and, they were in the elderly people that have really, they're the warriors, they're the prayer warriors and stuff of our 2 generations back or 3 generations back. So what am I really now? So let's recap on this. So I'm really I'm a liar. A thief too. Have you ever stolen anything? I mean, but if you're, I've committed adultery apparently now, and I've, and I'm not always honoring my father and mother. So just by them couple right there, what would you, that's punishable by death. That's wages to go to hell. I mean, with that being said, God paid it all on the cross. He was born of a virgin one night, and he grew up, and by the way, he was perfect as a kid. He was perfect, but he was so much God and so much man. He grew up, and then he started his ministries. He had the apostles and all, and he sit there. He loved us so much, though, that he would be born of a virgin. He would live on earth for around 30 years, and then he would be killed on the cross, crucified. And then he would be buried, and then what happened on the third day? Which we're about to celebrate Easter in the next little bit. But why would he do that? Why would he do that for this? Because he loves you. He loves you unconditionally. You've got to accept what he done for you on the cross. You've got to live for him. You know, when that person sits there and blasphemes his holy and precious name, you know, you need to probably tell them, you know, please don't, or at least don't do it around me. And then, you know, maybe you can walk away if you have to. I mean, it's just, you know, I know it's hard, and I know some of these are going to be your friends. But it's like, if they'll start seeing the change in you, then maybe they'll come up to you and say, hey, what's that $1 million question? The $1 million question is, where are you going to spend eternity? Where is, you know, what's going to happen? I mean, you are not promised tomorrow. I'm not promised tomorrow. The bigger thing with it is, though, and this is the thing that even I struggled with, it's like, I want to do good, and then it's like, everything just kind of trickles down. It's like, oh, you know, I mess up. I mess up everything. And that's kind of how I feel. But there's always, God's always going to sit there and welcome you back if you're really truly His. Now, you know, with that being said, though, you know, we don't think, oh, well, I can just, you know, ask God to forgive me and say, oh, you know what, and then go right back out here and redo it, you know. I mean, you've got to kind of die to self every day and follow Him, you know, whatever that kind of means in your scenario here. I mean, you know, you kind of gotta, I mean, I'm not saying that you gotta have the Jesus t-shirt on all the time, you know, Jesus big old bumper stickers and stuff like that. I'm not saying that. But you need to really say, hey, I'm going to be different. I'm going to be different. I'm not going to sit here and be with the crowd. I'm going to show myself to the crowd as being His child. So, you know, that's kind of how we're at right now. You know, that $1 million question is, I mean, if you saw somebody, and this is kind of more for believers, if they're sitting there, you know, and the bridge is out, is that bridge, you know, here's the bridge down here, and it just drops off. Are you going to tell them, that person, I mean, they're coming up here about, you know, 50 miles per hour through here, you know, they're going to go off on that cliff, you know, are you going to tell them about what's going to, you know, the bridge is out, you've got to scream it to you, you've got to, you know, put it up there. You know, as far as that goes, it's, you know, it's one of them things that you're just going to have to really sit down and say, hey, you know, at the end of the day, people are not gonna matter. People will probably get offended. People will probably get, hurt to a certain extent. But when their life and their eternity is always going to be, okay? I'd much rather go ahead and tell somebody down here than watch them get thrown off into hell. I mean, that's just kind of how it is, Hell is real, it's a literal place. The Bible talks about it. I'm not going to get into it tonight. Just because one thing, my battery's about dead. But that's not, that is what it is. I should have charged it. But I know some people's going to hate this thing. I'm no pastor, by the way. I'm just a concerned person for lost people, and I've got nerves and stuff too. But okay. But y'all, number one, pray for me, and I'll pray for you. Keep the faith. Y'all, there's a lost and dying world out here. We need to be the light. In other words, to them. Well, I hope this really makes I hope this makes somebody think. I hope this gets maybe hopefully somebody saved. I don't know. I'm just rambling on, I guess, but I love you and I appreciate you. And God bless you, and I hope to see you over in heaven if this does touch somebody. All right, y'all. God bless you. Oh yeah, we're gonna pray real quick. Dear Heavenly Father, I thank you for this day. I thank you for the blessings of it. God, just let this film right here help somebody, nurture them. Let it be what you need it to be for them. God, I love you and I praise you for everything you're going to do in my life. God, help me quit sinning. God, I'm terrible at it. I feel you every day. But God, let me come back to you. I'm still coming back to you. God, I love you and praise you in Jesus Christ's name. Amen. All right, y'all. Have a good night.